अब तक की अपकमिंग्स लेक्चर्स में ये हो चुका कि हमारा ब्लड क्या है। ओके, हमारे चैप्टर का नाम ही है कार्डियोवैस्कुलर सिस्टम। एज वी both knows that the cardio was made up with the two type of the words. One is cardio, one is vascular. The word cardio refers to the heart and the vascular words refers to the vessels, especially blood vessels. In the chapter cardiovascular system, first we are going to talk about the vessels, that is blood vessels. In the blood vessels we have seen that outer appearance or the outer appearance of the blood, that how the blood looks like. Okay, and the next part is the composition of the blood. In the part composition of the blood, we have separated different type of the part of the blood. Okay, in that we have concluded it into the two major part. One is plasma and second is the formed element. In the plasma we have seen that which type of the elements are included in the plasma and what was the composition of the plasma, which type of the substances are in the plasma which help in the mechanism or the process that is done by the original blood, how the plasma helps them. In the plasma we have seen that प्लाज्मा का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन अबाउट 55% होता है. प्लाज्मा कंट्रीब्यूट द 55% पार्ट ऑफ द टोटल ब्लड. इन द 55% पार्ट द 90 और द 92.5% पार्ट ऑफ द प्लाज्मा इज गेट conquered by the water or the watery type fluids. Okay, in the remaining 8 to 10% part, different type of the substances are there, like some proteins are there, like fibrinogen, prothrombin, thrombin. In that fibrinogen, prothrombin, thrombin, these all proteins help in the process coagulation. One point more, in the plasma a special type of the protein is present which is heparin, known as the anticoagulant. We have discussed that when the heparin come in contact with the air, it get coagulate and starts the process of coagulation and helps and promote the process coagulation. We have finished till up to the plasma. Next, first part of the formed element. Formed element. In the formed element we are going to talk about the different type of the elements those are present beside the plasma in the blood. Okay, in that we have talked about the RBCs. Okay, we will discuss about the WBCs, platelets. Okay, the first part is RBC, second part is WBC and third part is platelets. स्क्रीन पे इनकी वीडियोस हैं, यू कैन सी. ओके, फोटोज में स्क्रीन पे फोटोज चल रही हैं, आप क्लियरली विजिबल कर सकते हो. दिस आर रेड कलर सेल्स are the RBC cells, white color cells are the WBC cells, and the thread like structure that you can see, okay, is nothing else, platelets. Okay, we can conclude that red color RBC, white color WBC, and thread like substances are your what, platelets. Okay, so in this lecture we are going to talk about RBC. Okay, also known as the red blood cells or erythrocytes. erythrocytes. Okay, red blood cells and erythrocytes. Many type of the questions are there. Okay. As we know, एक ऊपर का फ्लो का पार्ट लेके चल रहा है. Color of RBC is what? Red color. Okay, clearly can you see? Okay, about the major part of the formed element, the major part of the formed element is get contained by the RBC. Major part of formed element, major part of formed element get occupied, part of the formed element get occupied by the RBCs. Okay. About जो भी हमारी as we know that 55% part of blood get contained by the plasma. Okay, 55% part of the blood is get contained by the plasma, and 45% part of the blood done by the formed elements like RBC, WBC and platelets. In all of them, RBC contain about the RBC contain about the 35 to 40% part, and next in the 5% part WBC and platelets are there. So अब तक it has been over that what are the formed element. So in the formed element, RBC, WBC and platelets are there. Be talking about first about the RBC. Okay, so RBC, what? Red blood cells or the erythrocytes, especially color of the RBC red color, especially red color, and color dark या brown, it is going to depend upon the capacity of the hemoglobin, that how the oxygen and hemoglobin are going to bind with each other. Okay, aerobically, anaerobically, how they are going to bind with each other. The color would be dark or light, it is dependent that major part of the formed element is the RBC, because which is occupied by the about 45 to 55%. Okay, in the blood 55% part of the blood is plasma, and in the 45% part corpuscles are there. Within the 45%, about the 35 to 40% are the RBC cells. Next, about 50 to 8%, sorry, 5 to 8% cells are the WBC or the platelets. Okay, these both type of the cells are laid between to that. Okay, in the RBC, a pigment called hemoglobin is found. Okay, in RBC, okay, not RCP, it's RBC. Okay, oxygen carrying protein, that is hemoglobin. In short, we say it HB, hemoglobin wasn't. Okay, which is a oxygen carrying protein, that is hemoglobin present, which carry the oxygen in the RBC. Okay. In the RBC, oh, male contain 5.4 million RBC per microliter, and females contain about the 4.8 million 4.8 millions RBC per microliter. Okay. Why the difference occurs? Because due to difference occurs. Why difference occur? Due to different. They both are differ in shape, size, and बोल सकते हैं कि molecular basis. Okay, molecular basis. In the female, shape and size are less. Bodybuilder mass होता नहीं, तो maximum of the females have not the too much. Okay, in the males they have, and due to the most secretion of the testosterone in the males. Okay, yes. 1 drop of blood contain about 50 microliter of the RBC. 1 drop of blood contain about 50 microliter of RBC. 1 drop of blood contain about 50 microliter. 1 drop of the blood contain about 50 microliter of the RBC. Okay. Next point is lifespan. We all know that the lifespan of RBC is 120 days. Okay. 20 days. Then how the lifestyle occurs? During the lifestyle, RBC goes from which type of the bases, in which type of the bases is good to in which type of the phases. We will discuss all about the. Okay. Okay, so a quick recap. In the RBC, oxygen carrying protein hemoglobin present. Due to the presence of the hemoglobin, color of the blood is going to red. Okay. In the male, about 5.4 billion millions of RBC are present per microliter. In the females, 4.8 millions of the RBC are present in per microliter. This difference is occurred due to the difference in shape, size, and the molecular basis. Okay. Next is 1 drop of the blood contain 50 microliter of the RBC. Lifespan of RBC is about 120 days. Okay. After the 120 days, RBC are get degrade and new formation of the RBC cells are takes place. Okay. Rate of formation of RBC cells is equal to the rate of destruction of RBC cells. These both rates are same to each other. If any of the rates is get distracted or increases or decreases, then the different type of the disease are going to occur in our body. Okay. Next is how the RBC looks like. Okay, means RBC anatomy. RBC anatomy. RBC generally we know that at the skin you can see, okay, shape of RBC. Okay, something biconcave like. So first point is RBC are biconcave disc. RBC are biconcave disc with the diameter of 6 7 to 8 micrometer with the diameter of 7 to 8 micrometer. Mature RBT blood cells have a simple structure. Mature RBC cell have a simple structure. Okay, as you can see, they don't have the cytoplasm, they don't have the any type of the machinery like mitochondria, plasma body complex, plastid. These are of the cells don't have. Okay. Their plasma membrane are strong as well as flexible. Strong as well as flexible. Okay, their plasma membranes are strong as well as too much. Their plasma membranes are strong as well as the flexible. Okay, which allow them to deform, which allow them to deform their shape, which allow them to deform their shape without rupturing, as they pass through the narrow vessels. As they pass through narrow vessels. Okay, let's see. Okay, suppose it is a blood vessel. Okay, this is a blood vessel. Okay, here diameter is A. Okay, here the diameter of the blood vessel is A. Here diameter is more, and as we go through there, diameter became less. Okay, here the diameter is less and here the diameter is more. They have the more diameter and we have the less diameter. As the RBC cells are goes from, suppose these are the RBC cells. Okay, these are the RBC cells. At their places, diameters are the same from one place to another places are equal. But when the RBC cells are reaches to the B diameter places, they cannot pass through the narrow blood vessels. So to pass through the narrow blood vessels, they need to deform their size. They need to deform their size. At the comfortability of their shape and size, they can reform its size. Okay, they can move like that. So they can be capable to pass through narrow blood vessels also. As we all know that the same type of diameter of the blood vessels is not possible in whole of the body. So different type of the blood vessels are there. In the different type of the blood vessels have the different type of the diameters. So from one blood vessels to another blood vessels having the different type of the diameter, RBC cells have to move. Less diameter containing blood vessels have pressures increases and thus the shape of the RBC get changed. Okay, point. RBCs have lack of nucleus. RBC have lack of nucleus and other machinery. Okay, and other machinery, or we can say that, and other organelles. Nucleus and other organelles. They can't get participated. They can't get participated in metabolic activity. In metabolic activities. Okay. Okay. आरबीसी सेल्स डोंट हैव द न्यूक्लियस, डोंट हैव द माइकोप्लाज्मा. उसके पास खुद की कोई भी सेलुलर मशीनरी नहीं होती. एक सिंपल सा बॉडी सरफेस है और प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन है जिसके थ्रू वो मूव करता रहता है. आफ्टर 120 days इट गेट डिग्रेडेड. ओके, बिफोर डिग्रेडेशन ऑफ द आरबीसी, okay, two type of the before the degradation of RBC, hemoglobin is get utilized. Hemoglobin will be get broken into the two part. One is heme and one is the globin part. Okay. So RBCs have the lack of nucleus and other organelles, and they cannot get participated into the metabolic activities. Okay. As we all knows that the RBCs carry oxygen. Okay, हाँ, कैसे कैरी करता है? By putting the oxygen carrying pigment, that is what hemoglobin. हीमोग्लोबिन ऑक्सीजन कैरिंग पिगमेंट है. अब ये हीमोग्लोबिन ऑक्सीजन को कैरी करता है. हीमोग्लोबिन पाया कहाँ जाता? आरबीसी सेल्स में. इफ अगर आरबीसी सेल्स के पास उसकी खुद की मशीनरी होगी तो उसके पास न्यूक्लियस होगा, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया होगा, ये सारी चीज़ें होंगी, तो वो खुद के लिविंग पीरियड को इंक्रीज करने के लिए मेटाबॉलिक एक्टिविटीज़ में पार्टिसिपेट करेगा. अगर मेटाबॉलिक एक्टिविटीज़ में पार्टिसिपेट करेगा तो इट विल यूज द ऑक्सीजन, and if it will use oxygen, then the quantity of the oxygen will be decreases. So RBC के पास किसी भी टाइप की कोई मशीनरी सेल्स नहीं होती, जिसकी वजह से ये किसी भी टाइप का कोई ऑक्सीजन का यूज नहीं कर रहा है. सो हाउ मच क्वांटिटी ऑफ द ऑक्सीजन इज गेट occupied by the hemoglobin totally, overall the amount of the hemoglobin is reaches to the cells. Okay, reaches to the cells. hemoglobin, just imagine कि hemoglobin आपके पास 200 cc है. ओके, हाँ, तो ये पूरा का पूरा 200 cc reaches to the cells, 200 cc. ओके.